just want to shoot a quick video. I didn't think that a 1 minute long video post on Instagram would give this thing enough justice. So what we're doing here today is I was fortunate enough to get sent this Alumapro gun from Miller. My buddy Josh at Miller sent me this out to demo. It's actually sold now to one of his customers, but I'm demoing it real quick before I gotta send it back to him. We're running it on the Multimatic 255 right now, which I've just only used this machine for MIG so far. So it's the exact same thing as a Millermatic 255, but this is the Multimatic 255. We are running a pulse MIG on aluminum, so this is what I have it set up for right now. And the background menu for arc length is right there. I'm sorry, arc control is right there. It's 30. Run an arc length of 50, 360 inches a minute, 364 wire. Running the Hobart Max. This is the wire I'm running right here. One thing with aluminum you gotta make sure is you run a good wire, especially when you're pulse MIG welding. We're running this in here. I got the U-drive roll set up in the machine. The 14-pin connector comes right inside, which is nice on these new 255 chassis. The connectors are inside; they're not exterior on them anymore. So that's how I have it set up so far. I ran my first pass with the machine set up with those settings. The only thing I did was when I started the weld, I could tell the arc length was far too long for the stock parameter that was in the machine. So I did that little 1 incher there and I stopped. Went back to the machine, decreased my arc length down to 50, and then ran the rest of this weld. This is 1/4 inch thick aluminum plate, running, I think it's 40-43 aluminum. It could be 60-61. I can't tell, there's no markings on this plate. I just grabbed it out of the scrap bin, threw a wire brush on it, and ran the weld. First impressions, I mean, come on. Look at that. Now I'm just doing like a little whip and pause. As I was welding, I could totally tell I was getting a lot of penetration. You can kind of see in this crater, the crater's pretty low, which means it is eating in pretty good. Yeah, it ran awesome. I'm gonna run some more beads on it. I'm gonna set up the camera to kind of get some videos of it actually running so you can hear what it sounds like. But yeah, this is just 5-minute setup, really quick, threw it in the machine, kind of just tossed a wire speed at it just to try. It seems to be working out really well. All right, before we are running this at about 360 inches a minute, the wire speed adjustment is actually on the gun on the bottom side here. I'm going to decrease it down a little bit just to kind of, slow it down. I'm going to take it down to, like about 320 from 360. So this is at 320 inches a minute, 364 wire. We got the tension on. We're good to go. Here we go. Running straight argon. I mean, that is awesome. That is really good. That is a bead next to a bead. You could tell we kind of started off a little cold, which still doesn't look that bad, and kind of stacked up a little bit taller, but then it just leveled right out. Man, that's impressive. I mean, if you've ever MIG welded aluminum, I mean, that's the way to go. The gun is pretty heavy. I mean, if you had to run with this thing all day, you're definitely going to want to get yourself situated to where you don't have to hold all the weight of this gun up. But man, with that 255 as a power source behind that, with little to no setup, I mean, all I've done is adjust the wire speed a little bit and the arc length. This is where we're at with our settings right here. And I think the arc control in the background, we are at, let's get zoom in here. Still at 30, yeah. This thing's running like a dream. All right, we set up another setting. So we got the first pass in there, second pass. The plate's now starting to get pretty warm. I'm actually gonna decrease the wire speed just a little bit more, down to 300 inches a minute with 3/64 wire, and let's see how this runs. Yeah, see, we're starting to get her tuned in now. I mean, come on, look at that. I mean, we're talking about a setup that's not really intended for this. I mean, this is a multi-process machine. Pulse MIG, which is the new feature on these 255s, but this Pulse MIG feature on here is running this aluminum very well. Only made 3 setting changes, pretty much just to decrease the wire speed, kind of slow down my travel speed a little bit more, so I can have a little bit more, arc control and can manipulate the puddle a little bit better. But wow, and this is on a hot piece of 1/4 inch. So granted, I'm on a little bit thicker material here, but I bet you could tune this in and maybe even decrease your wire size a little bit if you want to do thinner, or go the other way if you need to do thicker material. But I mean, that right there that's golden.